SnapToCover.com. We always snap to cover.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tobin here from SnapToCover.com. Wanted to show you a quick little tutorial in ArmA 3 on the SOS scope. If you haven't seen the SOS scope, here it is. It's basically a mil-dot reticle scope that you could put on your rifle. Cool thing about mil-dot scopes is you can use them for both range estimation and quickly engaging targets at different distances based on mapping out the different mil-dots to what they correspond to at different distances. Alright, so first thing we want to do is figure out how far our target is. To do that, we need to know how tall our target is. This is a video game, and fortunately all of the people in the game are the same exact height. I figured out in real world they would be roughly exactly 1.92 meters. With that, we can then come up with the equation target size in meters times 1,000 divided by target height in mil-dots equals the estimated range in meters. So if we take 1.92 and times that by 1,000, we get 1920. And if we divide that by the height in mils, we get, so if we line the horizontal line at the top of this guy's head, and let's put a tripod out, make it a little easier. Be 1, 2, 3 mil-dots, and roughly another mil-dot, not mil, but mil-dot size space below that. A mil-dot in itself is 0.2 mils, so this would be 3.2 mils. So if we plug that in, 1920 divided by 3.2, we get 600 even. So that tells us basically that this guy should be 600 meters away. We pull out our trusty rangefinder, zoom all the way in, and put it on. We see on the right side that we are in fact 600 meters away from the target. This guy's 599. If we use that rough estimation, we should be good. So let's get our gun back out. Now you can zero your rifle for different distances with your page up and page down. Right now we're zeroed in at 500 meters. If we bump this up 1 to 600 meters, you would think, in all honesty, that you were actually sighted in correctly. But if we put this red dot on the head and pull the trigger, we miss. Nothing happened. Target didn't fall, no impact. What the heck happened? We ranged for 600 meters, zero for 600 meters, we pull the trigger. Why didn't this guy fall? Now I don't know if this has to do with the fact that we're using a scope that's normally in the game put on a sniper rifle, which is shooting a 12 millimeter round, and we're currently using a 7.62 NATO. I don't know if that has to do with it, but you're actually going to have to hold, if your range and your zero are the same, you're going to have to hold 1 mil low, or 1 minute of angle low. So if we hold the dot that's 1 above, right on the head, that's holding 1 mil low. And if we pull the trigger, we see that we get a headshot. Alrighty. So what else can you do? If we go down to 500 meters, we only have to hold half a minute of angle high. So if we split the difference between the red dot and the one directly below it, put that up on his head, pull the trigger, and we get a headshot. So those are a couple of quick things you can do. What I found is the guns are actually sighted in for about 50 meters 50 meters farther than they're actually at. So even though the gun says it's sighted in for 550 meters or 500 meters right now, it's actually sighted in for 550 meters. So what I've done is I've actually set up a red marker up ahead here, and this is at 550 meters. So let's run on up to the red marker. And if it's off by a meter or two, you're not going to be that far off. So let's check our rangefinder by hitting B. Open it up. Zoom in with our plus sign. 552. So we could scoot up a little bit to the line. Zoom in again to make this as accurate as possible. All right, 550. So let's switch over to our rifle. I said, even though it's zeroed at 500, it's actually zeroed in for 550. So this should be dead on accurate. So let's try and go for a headshot. Oh, I missed. Up with that. There we go. I think I might have jerked the trigger or something. Let's do one more follow-up just to be sure. You gotta let the gun kind of settle where it needs to be. They call that natural point of aim. Boom. So it's just about 550. If you were to put your red dot center of your scope right where it needs to be, especially if you start shooting center mass. These guns seem to be a little bit inaccurate in general. I don't know if it's because of the new weapon sway or what, but I mean, if you're engaging and shooting center mass, you should have absolutely no problem engaging like this. So I hope that's been helpful. You can use this kind of information to build out an entire list. You can build out what they call a drop chart, so you can figure out where you need to be on your scope at different ranges. You can kind of fill that out yourself. So let's do a quick one at 600 meters. And I've already done this. Let's check our scope again, make sure we're really at 600. Yep. Okay. So if we go to 300 meters, zero in for 300, let's say we're engaging guys up close and then we see this guy off in the distance and we want to engage him. Where do we have to put our scope? Well, we have to hold it at to be about 3 mils high. So if we put our tripod down, get about 3 mils high, boom, headshot. All right. So now we go to 400 meters. 400 meters zero, which is a pretty good range. I'd say most of my contacts are usually between 400 and 500 meters out. When I'm really in a firefight and they're actually engaging me, 400 meters is usually a pretty good range. This is actually going to be 2 minutes of angle high that you're going to have to hold. So we're going to pop that shot, hit him in the head, he's down. Again, we've already talked about 5, that's going to be half a minute above. Pull the trigger, down. 600. 600 matches 600, so we know we need to go 1 minute down, pull the trigger, he's dead. Now we get out to over 600. We're actually going to need to be at 3 minutes of angle here. Let's put that on the target, pull the trigger. You see, headshot, he ain't coming away from that one. And if we go up to 800 meters, so if we're engaging, way out in the distance, maybe there's a hill over there that we're engaging, and this guy pops out from behind a building, we quickly need to engage so he doesn't get us or our teammates, you're basically going to use the bar at this point to try and hit him. So let's pull the trigger there, and we see we got another headshot. So with that kind of data, 900, you're really not going to be able to see where it is. I'm going to estimate that it's going to be probably somewhere near the top of the scope. Yep, so top of the scope, that was just a guess, just from going through this so much. So top of the scope for 900. So that's with the gun zeroed. That's with the target at 600 meters, where you need to hold on the scope in order to engage those targets. So what you can do is you could have an Excel spreadsheet, which is what I'm working on right now, and basically say at different target ranges, where do you need to hold your scope in order to engage targets at different distances. So if most of your guys are at 400, you're probably going to want to have your gun at 400 or 300. And then from there, if you see somebody's farther away, you're going to know roughly what mil dot you're going to need to hold on in order to get accurate shots on them. So I hope this information was helpful. It would be nice if the scope actually zeroed to where it was supposed to be. It wouldn't throw off your numbers as much, and you'd probably be a little bit more accurate, but it's still pretty good. I mean, if you can work out the math to the point where it's like this and really engage people, no matter what the distance, quickly. If I'm engaging people at 300, I want to engage again. I know I got to be down here. I can pop a shot off, kill him, and start engaging the next guy. So having that chart handy nearby definitely makes you much more of a threat as a designated marksman, or if you're a sniper trying to give some covering fire. Being able to use this scope and be effective with it is crucial. So again, hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and look forward to doing some more of these. See ya. Tobin out.
SnapToCover.com. We always snap to cover.